I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed, posse. Not because the bill passed yesterday, which should never have passed. And we're gonna do something about that, but I'm just pissed over the fact that you cannot trust at all anybody in DC. That whole apparatus, the entire thing, is an absolute clown show. It's a setup. It's all bought and paid for. There is pretty much minimal amounts of influence you have on it now. The parties are broken. They're all a representation of nothing. They basically have absolutely nobody who really represents them, because MAGA is no more Republican than it is Democrat, in my opinion. It is the working class wage earners of America, which basically means the 75% of the people who pay majority of the tax in this country, who are paying for all of the shit, everything that McCarthy basically allowed to slip by, and all of the future things that are going to continue to go through. You're paying for it. You're paying for all of it. So, you know, again, I'm a person who's 45 years of age, so basically I'll be busting my balls for the rest of my life, because the way that this is going to go is that because McCarthy didn't put any caps on any of this, and let me get up and walk around before I lose myself here. Yeah, McCarthy didn't put any caps on any of this, okay? And the reason that that's a problem is because that means that he could spend $2 million, $10 million, $100 million, $100 billion, $1 trillion in extra spending. He could do whatever he wants to do in this third term of Obama, if you want to call it, the Biden puppet show, however you want to label or characterize whatever this administration, stolen administration is. Now, I don't care even if you want to put me in the category of conspiracy theorist now. I don't care anymore, because we're way past that at this point. If you're a person who cannot see the realities that are in front of you, if you cannot see the games that are being played against you. And again, you don't think for 1 minute that these people don't know what they're doing. Right now, like, I don't know if you watched War Room this morning, but if you did, Steve's right on. These guys are high-fiving themselves and, you know, popping the champagne and, you know, eating that, you know, $500 a pound caviar, okay, because they know they won. They know they won, and they won big. McCarthy made, this is what really irritates me, like I said from the top of this, is that we have control. The United States people put Republicans in charge. Why? Because we were sick of the crap, the interest rates and everything just getting so ridiculously out of control. We wanted a cap on the spending. So what did McCarthy do? He sold us a bill of goods. Well, first off, he convinced, I don't know how, and again, Cortez and MTG are wrong on this, and I said they were wrong on this from the beginning back in January, that McCarthy should never have been the speaker. He should never have been. They were wrong. I was right. And the posse was right again. But then again, look, Steve Cortez jumped ship as well. He's the turncoat of Trump. So again, you're going to be seeing a lot more of this. This is only the beginning. Look, what Bannon told you, 2023 and 2024 are going to be the most intense years you will experience when it comes to politics, if you're a person who engages with this stuff on a daily basis. You know, I don't think it's very healthy to breathe and live this stuff every single day unless you're getting paid to do so, because it really can mess with you. I mean, and that is the whole intent of a lot of this, to overwhelm you with the ridiculous circus, which is basically the puppet show. I call it the puppet show. That's all it is in DC, okay? It's a joke. The whole thing is basically set up and contrived. If you watched a couple of my videos back, I remember I was talking to you about problem, reaction, solution. That's all this is. They generate the problems to create the mess. They're the ones basically spending all the money, basically, and telling you that if you don't give them more of it or whatever it is, we're gonna go bankrupt and everybody's gonna lose everything and blah, blah, blah. It's all your fault, right? So you gotta be fiscally responsible and you know, and print more money. Why? That makes absolutely no sense. But you know what they do? They make you the bad guy, me the bad guy. Because we're talking common sense. We're the ones making sense in this whole situation. So what do? They just avoid the issue. The media never talks about it. And what do? We're sitting here going, what do you mean? What do you mean? Exactly. The point being is that they're treating you and I as if we're morons. We're insignificant, stupid, beetle-headed morons. Okay? And that's, okay, you can take that if you want to, but I ain't taking that. I'm sorry. There are 120 Republicans, I think, that voted yay for this McCarthy bill. I'm not exactly sure on the number. I haven't really read through all of that, but anybody, including McCarthy, who voted for a positive up vote, no way, sorry. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You see, we put you into positions of power so that you could become fiscally responsible, so that you could become the person who would make the hard decisions when nobody else wanted to. That's what a lot of you sold us on, right? And there were 20 who were very strong in the beginning and said, McCarthy ain't the right guy, McCarthy ain't the right guy, right? They were right. The posse was right. And now what are we in? We're in a shit show now. We look, like I said, we look like a bunch of idiots with our pants around our ankles, standing out in the middle of nowhere, right? We had the leverage, you gave it away. The American people are the ones who are financing all this. They said no. What did you do? You spent more money anyway. You gave in to this Biden crap. And now you gave him a bill in which it's going to fly through the Senate with flying colors, absolutely, because you just gave them a blank check in which I and the rest of this American patriots are going to be flipping the bill for. And you call that, who, let me ask you this, McCarthy, let's who do you represent? And for the Republicans that voted for this bill, who exactly do you represent? Because a vote for yes on this cripples the American people. It cripples them. Cripples me. Growth will be basically non-existent. Interest rates will basically be off the chain. You print money out of thin air. You have no way to back it, no way to figure out how to spend it. And then you blame us for not allowing you to spend more money when you were the ones that created this problem in the first place. Problem, reaction, solution. The only difference is this time is that more people are kind of tuned into what the hell's going on. You can't keep playing the same game, keep calling the same bluff, and keep saying it, no, it's not our fault, it's those guys' fault over there. The Republicans and the Democrats, those two parties, they're an establishment system. One's more Marxist, the other one's more neoconic, neoliberal, whatever you want to call, but they're all in the same boat. They're all playing the same roulette game. They're all on the same team. And if anybody interferes with their game, they all huddle together and declare jihad against the American people. And that's basically what's going on right now. That is exactly what is happening right now. Your government doesn't want you in the conversation. They hate you and the business tycoons and the whole intelligence apparatus, or what do you call it, the administrative state, is finding ways to cancel you and me out of the conversation. And that's exactly what they're doing with President Trump. They're basically trying to take him out of the equation entirely so that he can't interfere with their game plan, their agenda. But it doesn't seem to matter at this point, because what McCarthy and the Republicans just did is crippled the American economy, destroyed the dollar, and basically have put anybody who's under the age of 40, okay, you're going to be serfs, almost slaves. You'll own nothing, and you'll have to love it, because these are the leaders that allowed it to happen. So, the only remedy for this, because we could piss and moan about this all day long. I mean, I could go on for hours about how much of a Judas 30 pieces of silver betrayal this is. And McCarthy, like I said to you several different times over Getter, you had the opportunity to be the best speaker in American history by doing the right thing for the right reasons at the right time, or not. So I guess you're okay with going down in history as just another piece of human garbage politician who, when it really mattered most, and he was supposed to be the public servant of the people, basically showed his hand, dropped his drawers, and took it. Kissing and saving your own asses. And it makes absolutely no sense. And you do this, and what kills me, again, you guys just do this. You go up to the podium and you just splatter off lies. You just splatter off nonsense. Tell the world whatever you want, whatever they want to hear, whatever's scripted, whatever you got going on for the day, to try to push a certain type of narrative. And then when push comes to shove, like I said back in January, is the reasons why McCarthy ain't your guy, is that anytime when push comes to shove and it's crunch time and we need somebody to do the right thing for the right reasons, McCarthy's not that person. He's failed multiple times over. And I said, he's going to do it again. It's just like a person who cheats, who constantly is in a relationship with cheat. You do it once, okay. You do it multiple times, you see a pattern of behavior, okay? These people are all working for the same people. Okay, he knows it's political suicide if he does go against this. So again, they're all bought and paid for. We're just trying to siphon them all out. And again, there are some real people in Congress that really wanted to do the right thing because they realize, hey, this does not make sense. I'm sure there are. But what are we doing, folks, man? The only way to combat this, in my opinion, at this point, okay, we have to, whoever these people are, the 120, you take them out entirely of the primary. You don't even give them the opportunity to get on the stage in the general. Okay, you take them out entirely in the primary. And how do you do that? You get involved where you live at the local level. Okay, you become a precinct committeeman, and you get on that committee, and you actually have a say-so in who is on the primary. And then maybe you can get your candidates, the candidates that you want, on the ballot. Because again, this is going to take everybody at this point. The economy is basically broken, and I can guarantee you before Christmas, Biden will have spent so much more. We'll see exactly how bad this is going to be before the next new year. All I can say is that betrayal won again. Republicans failed again. That is exactly what they have been doing. But I keep trying to tell everybody, Republicans haven't existed for a long, long time. There are only two parties. There is MAGA versus everyone else. That's it in America. And if you don't believe me, go start walking around like I do with this walk and talk. I talk to people all the time. And again, they're all feeling the same vibe. There's a few that are not in the know, but they're on their TikToks. That's why, that's Steve Bannon went on a rant today about that. He's absolutely right. Because again, that's where they are, because that's what our parents are allowing to happen. This is what we're doing. Our whole society is becoming totally detached about what really matters. And we pay attention to the nonsense noise and bullshit. It's a sad, sad day. But what's really sad is that our own public servants, the people that claim to represent the people, gave a big stiff-eyed 1-1 up the yin-yang of every American with this yes vote. And they know who they are. And I've always said that, what goes around comes around. It will. America is we're the last stand. We are the last stand, and we give up now, it's not going to matter. You're going to listen to the Scarboroughs and all the little cheerleaders on Fox News tell you about how great this was and how wonderful, the McCarthy Bidens could come together, under all of this haze and noise and blah, 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 because they know they're going to try to sell you, and they're just going to try to cheerlead you to tell you that, hey, guess what? We won. The establishment won again. And they know it. So we have two options, in my opinion, just two, okay? We could tuck our head between our legs and say, screw it, it's not gonna matter, we're not gonna do anything. Or we could give it everything we have. One last time, one more show, one more conversation, one more email, one more post. Just one more time, one more day. You just keep thinking about things in terms of the one. Just one more. It's just that one extra post, that one extra share, that one extra like, that one extra opportunity to get involved, that one opportunity to set the record straight, to tell somebody about the truth, you know, to get involved wherever you are, you know, that one extra little opportunity. You think it doesn't matter. I always said, everybody thinks that, nah, just one thing, it's not going to matter. If everybody thought that way, but if everybody did something, the world would be changed tomorrow. We just don't think we have power. This is the problem. I don't know what I need to do or what I would have to say. Maybe I need to get in front of a stage and maybe I need to slap a whole bunch of people. But you don't realize the amount of power you have in the voice that you have, the talents that are living right within you. MAGA is full of this. And if you're willing to use it, I'm sure you can find a creative way to get the information out, to expose the people that are trying to sell you out, that have sold America out. I mean, is that really what we want our kids to have? Look, I've always believed, I have no kids, okay? I have no children. And it pains me because I feel sorry for what any child today is going to inherit. And we allowed this to happen. We did, on my watch, your watch, or anybody basically here is still working or has children. It's our responsibility. Now granted, these people in DC have taken that right out of your hands and they've manipulated you, lied to you, and stolen elections, and that's another issue all along. We got to get control of that. Because if we don't get control of that, it ain't gonna matter what we do or who we try to put up there. They're gonna keep stealing it. But I got off the subject matter there and lost my train of thought. But anyway, long story short, my friends, I mean, I rambled on enough about this subject. I'm at the point where I don't know what the right answers are anymore. I don't know if it's a better idea to just sit back and just let it all fall. But no, I've seen the impact that making phone calls and getting involved does. I've seen countless changes in just things at the local level when people actually start to care, okay? And I've said it, and the people who follow me know very well that I've said if you don't get involved at the local level, you must. And the reason why is that is where your community is. That's the people who know you. Who do you think is going to trust you more than the people in your community? You're a part of that community, okay? If you lie to them, they're going to know where to find you, okay? But people don't do that in communities. That's why we rally together. That's why, you know, root for the home team, okay? That's why we get we get like that. We're supposed to get like that. It's our community. It's our state. It is our country. They have perverted our language, border, and culture, my friends, and I'm at the point now where you can see that every single day these guys put on their suits. It's just a facade, it's just a character, it's just a drama being played out, the clown show called DC, where they go and they put on a puppet show because they're all paid actors, they're all basically paid off and told to do a certain thing and say a certain thing in a certain way, slap each other over the head every once in a while, make it look good, the media sells it for them, but in the end of the day, what ends up happening? I'll tell you what ends up happening. You and I get screwed over, and these people laugh all the way to the bank as they sell our country down the road, take away all of the privileges and everything that you believe America to be. They've destroyed it. They've destroyed you and I. They destroyed the future. And this bill that McCarthy just passed, the McCarthy-Biden bill, will go down in history as the bill that bankrupted the American dollar. 100%. And they know it. Either McCarthy is very stupid and was so outplayed, or he knew that this is where it was heading. And unfortunately, he had already hit his event horizon. He already hit his event horizon. And I guess that's that. Anyway, it's getting hot out here. Let's turn this around real quick. Looks like we got rains that coming in the distance. A little rain there. Pretty calm out here, but that's usually the calm before the storm.